Welcome to the Cherries TV. Welcome to the Cherries TV. My name is Abby and I'm a fragrance lover. Welcome back to another video. By the title of this video, you already know what's about to get down, y'all. We have our best unisex fragrances. So I made a poll and you guys voted to post the best unisex fragrances. So here we are. If you are new here, my name is Abby and on this channel we talk about fragrances. Anything that has to do with smelling good, feeling good, that's what we talk about. And if that sounds like something that you're interested in, go ahead and grab a seat, grab a drink, and turn on that notification bell and hit that subscribe button. All right, you guys, without further ado, let's get right into this video. This is in no particular order, but we're just gonna grab them and go. All right, so the first unisex fragrance, in my opinion, that is the best unisex fragrance, is one that not a lot of people talk about. It's from the house of Galleria Parfums. And you guys, a lot of you guys don't know about Galleria Parfums, but I did do a video on Galleria and I'll put it right here in the cards for y'all to check out. But if y'all already know what Galleria Parfum is, y'all already know they are all about that beast mode style fragrance. And I feel like they got two of the best unisex fragrances in my opinion. The first one is a nice gourmand boozy fragrance and it is called Cognac Cafe. This right here, by the notes, you could already tell what kind of fragrance it is. It's a beautiful coffee fragrance, but it's not one of those coffee fragrances that are heavy on the coffee. This is blended to perfection. This has nice booziness in it and it has that nice coffee, but it's not like coffee bean. It's like a milk coffee. It's like, think about brewing the coffee and you smell the coffee throughout the house. That's the smell that you get from this fragrance. I really enjoy this fragrance right here. And I think it is like the perfect unisex fragrance in my collection, especially if you're looking for a coffee fragrance that has a little bit of booziness. Now, when I first thought about this fragrance, when I heard about it, when the brand said they was gonna send it to me, because this was sent to me by the brand. Thank you, girl. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. They told me that this was a coffee and cognac fragrance. And I was just like, coffee and booze? But y'all, it worked perfectly. And that's when I thought about like an espresso martini. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that one tastes good. I recently tried it, but that tastes good. So I could only imagine how this would smell like. And guys, it is beautiful. Now, my husband has tried this on his skin. He's worn it more than me, honestly. But y'all, it is really nice and it is perfectly unisex. On him, it gets more masculine. On me, I've tried it on my skin. It is very, very sweet. I think it's one of the best unisex fragrances from an indie niche house. So go ahead and check that out. The next one is one that is also from Galleria Parfum and it is called Shades of Seduction, you guys. Now, the name threw me off a little bit in the beginning when I first smelled it. It threw me off. I was like, this is not like a seductive fragrance. Until I sprayed it on and then 15 minutes later, I'm like, I smelled it and I'm like, okay, cool. That smells nice, but it's not seduction. And then I kept smelling it and I kept reaching to smell it and I kept on doing it. And I was just like, well, maybe it is a little seductive, because if I keep on going back and forth with my arm, I mean, like, there's something about it that I like and I just couldn't put my finger on it. It's sweet, it's beautiful. It smells like one of the regular sweet fragrances, but there's something about this fragrance that really stood out to me and I still can't figure it out. But y'all, I realized that the name does fit it and it's beautiful on a man, gorgeous on a woman. My husband wore this too. Out of the two, his favorite was Cognac Cafe. Honestly, my favorite is this one, only because this is more wearable and I could wear this throughout the whole year, especially during night times. But if I have to pick a unisex fragrance from the line, Shades of Seduction would definitely be that for me. The next fragrance is one from Novitus Parfum. Now, y'all know how I feel about Novitus Parfum. They've been rocking with me for the longest, and I had to put one of them on the list. Definitely, because they have one of the best unisex fragrances in an indie house. I mean, unless you know an indie house that I didn't know of, but Novitus Parfum do their fragrances really, really well. And this one is called Carte Blanche. Now, one thing about this fragrance is that it is very versatile and it smells different from anything that I've smelled, especially in 2021. And I smelled a lot of fragrances in 2021. that just passed, and this is so unique. Every single time my husband sprayed this or I spray it on me, I have to think back. I'm like, dang, was that really carte blanche? It's really, really good. It stands out. It's unisex. And if you're trying to stand out, you guys, Galleria Parfums and Novices Parfum is the way to go because they're very, very different. And not a lot of people have them. And if you're trying to stand out with a unisex fragrance, then this is the place to go to. The next unisex fragrance, in my opinion, is from the House of Tom Ford. Now, if you're looking for a spicy, boozy fragrance, but that has a touch of vanilla in it, Vanille Fatale is the one to go to, you guys. This fragrance right here is not for the weak, because you really gotta like a bold, sexy fragrance. And if you can get to that part, then this is perfect. I feel like this one, when I first smelled it, I was just like, oh, this is all for a man. But when I sprayed it on, the essay was like, go ahead and spray it on, because a lot of women like this. Sprayed it. And guys, mind you, at the time I smelled it, my nose palette was not that advanced. So I sprayed it and then I went home and I was like, oh my God, what this lady made me do. This fragrance is all for a man. But funny thing about it is, it started to get sweeter and sweeter on my skin, and the vanilla and the spices just became something so spectacular on my skin. And that's when I realized, I'm like, well, Vanille Fatale, you done did that. Like, I really, really enjoyed this on my skin. It is completely unisex, and I think it is the best. If you're looking for a beautiful tobacco fragrance that has some vanilla in it, then this is the perfect unisex fragrance. It is from the House of Amouage, and it is Amouage Sunshine Woman. Now, Amouage have a thing when it comes to their fragrance. They have a specific DNA. It's either you like Amouage fragrances or you don't. But this right here is a beautiful, creamy, vanilla fragrance with a touch of tobacco leaf in it. I think it's perfect for a man and a woman. I remember when I first smelled this, I had a nice little 5 ml decant. My husband took it. He's usually the one that's always testing out my fragrances when I don't have any room to test out. He took it and he sprayed it on in the morning, went to work. He got off at like 10 and he entered the car and I was just like, please tell me that is not that Amouage fragrance. It said, that's the only thing I have on. I'm like, oh my God, it smells so good. If you're looking for a beautiful tobacco with a touch of vanilla and some creaminess, this is definitely one to try. The next one is probably one of the best unisex fragrances in my opinion. And it's one of those fragrances that you go nose blind to instantly. It is from the House of Eccentric Molecules, and it is Molecule 01. Now, Molecule 1 is, listen, it is one of the first niche fragrances in my collection. And I heard Tiff Benson talking about it, and I was just like, oh, this lady talks so good about this fragrance. I need to smell it. Got in my car, went to Neiman Marcus, and I asked them, hey, do you guys have that 01 fragrance? I could not remember the name. And they're like, 01. And then one lady was like, yeah, I know what you're talking about, Molecule 1. Like, yeah, that's the one. Smelled it. She sprayed it on me and I was just like, what is this? Why Tiff Benson talking about this? So I was like, okay, whatever. And then we were smelling other stuff and then I went home. And the whole time I kept getting this woody, fresh fragrance. And the whole time I'm trying to figure out what it was until I got home and I was like, what did I spray on me? Because when a fragrance really like have me thinking like that, then I gotta have it. But I could not remember what fragrance. And then that's when I was thinking about all the fragrances that I smelled. I was thinking about the bottles because I couldn't remember the names. Then I was like, well, I only sprayed one, and it was that one that Tiff Benson was talking about. And I was like, could that be it? Y'all, it was it. And then ever since then, I got the bottle and I love it. A lot of men have gotten this because of my recommendation. They love it. A lot of women, it is perfect for a man and a woman. When it gets on the skin, it goes to work. I feel like this one is one that smells different on everybody and it always smells good. In my opinion, if you want a good unisex fragrance, Molecule 01 is it. And if you didn't watch my enhancer video, this was the star of that video. So go ahead and check it out if you haven't already. The next fragrance that I think is perfect as a unisex fragrance is a fresh leather fragrance. It has a little bit of rose. It has a little bit of water notes, and it has leather in it. It's very smooth, it's very fresh in my opinion, and I like it. I actually wore this to bed yesterday and I haven't picked it up in a long time, so I was like, okay, let me go ahead and wear it to bed, and it was beautiful. It's from Byredo, and it is Byredo's Le Fleur. Now this one is not a safe blind buy. When I tell y'all gotta smell these fragrances first, smell them. Byredo is another house where you have to smell. Most of their stuff leans very fresh and clean, but even though it does, and you know you're a person that like fresh and clean, you still gotta smell them. This one is a beautiful unisex fragrance. A friend of mine came over and she smelled it and she was like, oh, wow, I love it. And she bought it and I smelled it on her husband and I was just like, what are you wearing? He's like, oh, that clear bottle with the black round top. And I was like, what? It did not smell like that on him. Like, it did not smell like how it smells on me. It actually smelled really nice and a little bit of spiciness in it. And I really liked it. And I was just like, well, this does smell nice on a man. And of course, I sprayed it on Mark, but I feel like at this point, his skin is just so used to me testing it. Everything smells good on him. So I can't even use him as an example anymore. But Byredo Le Fleur is a really nice unisex fragrance, especially if you're one that don't like a heavy fragrance, but you do still like that leather and some rose and some water notes. This is perfect, but smell it first. The next fragrance is one from the house of Kilian, and not a lot of people talk about this, but this one I feel like is the perfect unisex fragrance from their house in the signature line, and it is Adults. Now, Adults is a beautiful, sensual fragrance. I really like this one so much. It gives me like this Coca-Cola vibe. It has some spiciness. It has a little bit of sweetness to it. And it works perfect on my skin and a guy's skin. I honestly feel like the name fits it. You got to be grown and sexy to wear this. Actually, let me go ahead and spray this on because I haven't sprayed it in a long time. This was a gift from my my mom and my dad. Like, honestly, it smells like a nice can of Coke, and then it starts to get spicy, and then just a little bit of sweetness. It's almost like a fresh, I don't want to say it's like a fougere, but it kind of leans to that vibe, almost like barbershop, but it's not. I don't know, but it's so good. Yeah, why am I not wearing this? It is really good, and it's completely unisex. The next unisex fragrance in my collection is one from MFK, and I love this fragrance, y'all. I love it, and I don't know why I'm not wearing it. Maybe because, you know, when you love something so much, you just don't want to touch it. I feel like that's how I feel about this, and it is called Grand Soir. Now, talk about a sexy fragrance. This fragrance right here is a beautiful, sensual amber fragrance. Now, one thing about this fragrance is that this is the fragrance that I fell in love with first from the house. I remember everybody was talking about Baccarat, 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 and I went and smelled Baccarat, and I was like, I was one of the people that didn't understand Baccarat in the beginning. Trust me, I love Baccarat now, honey. But I was one of those that did not understand it. And I'm so used to sensual, strong fragrances. So I asked the essay, I'm like, do you have anything else? You know, because people keep saying that they like this fragrance and I just didn't understand it. And the essay was just looking at me like I was dumb because I told her that I didn't understand Baccarat. So she was like, well, we have our second bestseller. This one is called Grand Soir. And then I smelled it and I was like, this is it. This is what and I was telling her, I was like, I don't know why people don't hype this up. She's like, people do like this, but they love Baccarat. I was like, well, I love this. And when I got this in my collection, I was just like, oh, I love it. It is a perfectly unisex fragrance. It is a nice, sexy, grown man, a beautiful, sexy woman, clean, nicely manicured, hair pulled back. And you know what's so funny about this? You can honestly dress it down. Now me, I would never, but you can dress it down. You can wear your fragrance whenever you want. But this right here is a beautiful unisex fragrance. Sexy, sensual is just an understatement. It's good, good. And the last fragrance in our unisex lineup is one from Francis Kurkdjian as well. And it is Gentle Fluidity Silver. Now this one is a perfectly unisex fragrance. If you're not a person that likes unisex fragrances or even like men fragrances, this is not gonna smell unisex to you at all. I'm gonna just keep it real for you. You're probably not gonna like this fragrance, to be honest with you. This is a fresh and clean, sexy woman, fresh and clean, sexy man, straight up. This one, I can see how it could lean a little bit more masculine, but in my opinion, it is straight down the middle. It's sexy, it's alluring. And the reason why I say it's alluring, because I've smelled this on people and I'll just be like, damn, like it really pulled me in. And it is so fresh and clean, but it's long lasting, it's sexy, and I love it. Like that fresh and clean, I would definitely tell you to test this out. I would never tell you to blind buy this because it's expensive, but it's beautiful. It's definitely unisex and I love it. Thank you so much, guys. That was the end of the video. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you made it this far and you're new here, you might as well hit that subscribe button, because at this point, you're a part of the family. You made it to this part of the video. All right, guys. Thank you so much for choosing TheCherysTv. Don't forget that I will be posting Tuesdays and Fridays and Sundays. We got a new day, y'all, at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget that I will be listing all of these fragrances. If I have discount codes, I will put them for y'all. And guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because without you, we won't go nowhere. So please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I love each and every one of you guys. Please, 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 please stay safe and keep on smelling fragrances. Bye.